but this is Theory Tuesday. The mystery behind the balls. No.
The mystery behind
First
the
off,
balls.
coming soon. Because I'm going to make that
Fact or
happen.
fiction?
I think we'll just literally Google every question I have and see what Google tells us.
You
and
don't
then
have
we'll
to
ask
Google
a
it.
man.
We have penises
Yes, but I
in our
wanted
lives.
the
I'll tell you whatever you
answer
wanna know.
to Google to see if
Oh,
it's
okay.
actually a legit answer, if Google's steering us wrong. It's
have,
fact checking.
I have been a man for 37 years now. So anything you want to know, I'll tell you.
Well,
Oh, man.
not this time.
Okay, yeah, I was like, oh no. All right.
But we are talking about mass hysteria of the masses. It is spontaneous in mass development of identical physical or emotional symptoms among a group of individuals, as in a classroom or of school children. Because, you know, they're cooped up together. It's easy. It's easy for things to spread.
Esther, can mass hysteria spread over the internet?
I think so. I think so.
Now I'm concerned. I wasn't before because a lot of people don't people, so I really wasn't concerned about that.
Probably. I'll talk about one that spread over the airwaves
Okay, I'm ready.
before the internet.
Tell me more. I'm really excited.
So,
about this.
medieval times, 1400s.
Get some chicken.
It's very much
Just
like
the
today.
chicken.
in some ways.
Chicken and some Pepsi at medieval times.
Huh?
The restaurant, medieval times.
Oh. I was like,
Can
wait,
we go
what?
there? I want to go there for not this birthday, next birthday. Let's go to a dinner theater show. I love good
That'd
dinner
be cool.
theater. Esther rolled her eyes. She's just placating.
Yeah.
Whatever I said.
Anyways,
Okay, back to the
1400s.
Medieval times.
A nun in Germany in the convent began to bite her companions, the other nuns. And we
Friendly
are
or faux biting?
yeah, we
That's
are
what I'm like,
unsure if it was.
If it's just a little love bite, I mean,
yeah, that's a
not
little weird,
terrible.
but it's like,
Oh, hey, Carolyn, Sister Carolyn, how you doing?
hey.
Doing well, Sister Mary.
And they have like 8 clothes on,
Yeah,
so they
I
can't
mean,
feel it.
Yeah.
It's
But
like,
it
girl,
seems
you-
like
Unless it's a zombie bite,
it
then
seems
that's
like it would
crazy shit.
have to be aggressive biting for.
Are you wearing cocoa butter?
Get a little freaky.
Word.
So the behaviors then spread, and all the nuns in this convent were just biting each other. And instead of just staying in this convent in Germany, it spread
Like
to
wildfire.
Holland and Italy. So you just had a
Damn.
bunch of nuns
And in 1410,
biting the hell out of each other.
That's a
I'm
big
just gonna
deal, though.
assume. Hell yeah.
Because your country's away. Like, it's not like they called each other on their cell phones and were like, yo,
Yeah, we're biting each
now.
other.
We're biting
We're
now.
biting
I
now.
think it's a
So
bunch
you
of
should
damn
join.
vampires.
Yeah, that's some crazy stuff, man. Sounds like possession.
So they had to be, well, they were
Euthanized.
told, what? No.
What was it? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought, like,
There were soldiers outside saying, "Yos, y'all need to stop. We're gonna come in and
Hold
beat
on.
the whole shit out of y'all until someone stops."
what do you really think they yelled? They were like, dun, 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 dun. Thou beest
It's not a
nunnest
king.
today. Stoppeth thy biting of thyself.
Well, it was like in German though.
Oh, God.
So it's very
now
harsh.
It's even worse.
Stop
Like,
them
it just got
biting,
worse in my
bitching.
head. I mean, because
Beaching.
really, that's a ridiculous thing. Like, you just called management in for an employee fight. Like,
Basically,
that's
hell
what
yeah,
happened.
hell yeah. Well, it would have been funnier if like a priest had to come and be like, "Yo, bitches, what
Well,
are y'all
I think
doing?"
that's where what started with it, and then the priest had to
The priest was
elevate
like,
it.
fuck
He was
that
like,
shit.
I'm a Newton bitten, bitches.
That one went over my head.
He said, wait a minute, bitches.
I'm a Newton.
I'm a Newton bitten.
So you know, and then it stopped halfly because of exhaustion, supposedly, but also because they were going to get the shit beat out of them. Not bit out of them. Oh my God. They were already doing it.
We just got to give them one good bite to get it all out of the system.
Shit, bite out of them.
Just one good bite to induce diarrhea.
Oh.
What?
Bite the shit out of them.
Ew.
So soon thereafter, a nun in France just began to meow.
I'm France.
And then everybody in the convent started meowing.
Was it in harmony though? Did they
Well,
meow hymns? That's
actually,
what I want to know.
Well, they didn't say it was songful.
Oh.
But they did meow at the same damn time and the same damn
so
pitch.
This is really loud.
Every day, yeah. And they're near people.
Okay, so you're in a convent and everyone's like,
Meow.
clock strikes 12. I mean, is that what that's
Probably.
like a meowing siren?
It probably was because the villagers got pissed and they were like, we need to do something. And the police called some soldiers and they were like, hey, we need threats of violence.
See what happens when you leave too many women to their own devices? They start biting and meowing.
I feel like there might be more.
They need a voice of
I feel
reason.
like there might be more violence coming from women in this mass hysteria coming up. I think Esther's giving us.
They just need a firm voice of reason to set them straight and tell them to stop biting and meowing.
So this, guys, please send us your condolences for Theon
as he lays.
As he lays, meoweth,
rest.
bitteth, and stompeth, if that's one, to death. Because this is causing mass hysteria.
Prophets are not welcome in their hometown.
Andre. Anyways, so yeah, they were getting ready to be slashed, beaten, whipped,
slapped up,
and they stopped meowing.
Do you think that there's a special group of soldiers dealing with mass hysteria? Like, do they have a mass hysteria unit? And they're like, all right, Curtis.
There's textbooks for this.
Let's go. And then they have maybe they certain say, because imagine what they yelled in that time. Thou shalt stoppeth. Behavior like a cat.
Or I'm going to get Curtis.
I mean,
I'm gonna get Curtis.
That's just crazy.
Is Curtis his last name or his first name?
It's both.
Curtis,
just Curtis.
Oh, it's just Curtis.
Oh.
It's just Curtis.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He's a one-man unit. Designed to calm down mass hysteria.
He would go in. But a lot of speculation is because nuns were mainly forced into it. Like, a lot of them were not saying, okay, I want a life of celibacy, to live in poverty and do hard labor for the rest of my life.
It was the ugly ones, unfortunately.
Or the ones they couldn't marry off.
The one they couldn't marry off, man, and that's awful. And you only had to, I think it was till 15 or some shit like that to get married off.
Yeah, back then.
After that, you were old and decrepit.
Because you're dead by 40, 30.
Right.
And she was ugly in the face, but double caked up, and nobody knew. Nobody knew what to do with all that.
And that's why she was meowing. She was meowing out of frustration.
That's right. She had all them cakes.
So you gotta meow it out.
And no one to cut a slice.
Damn. Oh my God.
So dumb.
So one of the more famous mass hysterias is the dancing plague of 1518.
What kind of dancing was this?
Disco dancing.
Was it breakdancing? What if it was breakdancing?
I don't think it was invented then, but I mean, who knew? Who knew? It's 1518. There's not a recording of it or anything.
It was the great twerk off.
They just said it was. So a lady just goes into the street and starts dancing.
Those streets were nasty in 1518 too.
They did it all. They did something strange for a piece of change.
Okay, so she starts dancing.
She starts dancing, and by the end of the week, there's 40 people
doing this.
Were just they all dancing
doing
with
the
her.
Same move?
Not really necessarily the same move, but they said it wasn't twitches or convulsions. It was literally purposeful movement
and shit.
Oh wow!
All right.
of
waltz
dancings.
Yeah,
There's some Bob Fosse
waltz
shit.
it out.
Kickball change.
Kickball change. And by the end of the month, 400 people out there dancing in the streets.
I can't even get down the street. Like, I need to go empty my shitter.
Chamber pot.
So wait a minute.
I don't know what it's called.
It's a chamber
and like
pot.
I can't even do it. Man, that's probably
You
why
just
they got
throw it out.
Yeah, you throw
Wait
it
a
out on
minute.
those
On them.
dancing fools.
So
Now they're really shitty dancing fools.
wait a minute. So was Lionel Richie's video for All Night Long based on a true story?
Maybe.
All night. Well, but it lasted more
night
nights.
All several nights.
And the people weren't like cool about dancing. Like they were like crying. They could not stop.
It stopped being fun.
Yeah, it was not cool.
When shit starts, what is it when people start getting real? That's what happened. They got the real world, the dancing version.
Yes. So supposedly there's not a lot of record about it, like written like facts, but there are people that died of stroke, heart attack, and exhaustion because they just could not stop dancing.
Because it was
for the love of dance. Because it was a banger.
Somebody turned on a banger.
Yeah,
It was like, we cannot.
They didn't say, but like,
It's
did a
probably
band
Clay
just
Aiken
come out?
song.
It was like the thong song, and they were like, we can't.
Oh,
stop.
it's a shitty Eminem.
It was
Spaghetti.
It was back that thing up. But it was like
Oh my
the
God,
intro,
yes, I'm
and they
dancing for
kept
that.
doing it, the intro over and over again.
But that is what gets us. Like every time that comes on,
Dun, 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 dun. Cash
You're
Money
like,
Rick
fuck
is
yeah,
taking over for the
bitch.
99 to 2000, and then just kept starting
oh
over.
my God, like I literally started doing it here in this, like what? Mass hysteria. That's how we're gonna.
Maybe
calm
that
down.
is.
That
That the
was.
mass hysteria.
They're like, what is this?
Dancing.
Time Traveler.
Dance moves. I mean, everybody does electric slide
Word.
and
Cha-cha slide. The wobble.
I love a wobble.
So it could have been caused because of a mold that grew on stalks of damp rye when it turned into bread. They could have ingested it, and it causes hallucinations and convulsions.
Okay, well, convulsions aside, maybe that's if you have too much, but these hallucinations, what kind of mold is this? How do we do it? What happens?
It's ergot.
I'm about to corner this market.
Ergot.
Listen, let's get in on this. Theon needs a big computer.
We need some damp rye stalks.
We're going to make something amazing. It's going to be like magic.
And then Cash Money's going to take over for the 99
99
and the 2000.
Oh my God.
And people will dance until they die.
Boom.
We don't want to kill them off right away. We got to make them dance a little bit, then stop it. Because how will they keep buying our product?
But like after you back it up, then drop.
Drop it like it's hot.
You stop.
Is it time to drop?
Well, after you back it up, then stop. You got to drop
Drop it like it's
drop
hot.
it like it's hot.
Man, we got some strong ass legs out there.
Some people thought they were doing rituals
Yeah, I would.
for a month though.
I'd be like, no, they're on some shit.
Dude, that's when you really have to look at your own commitment to the shit in your life and be like, yo, dog, do I love something as much as these
They
people
do.
are?
Yeah,
committed
for
to
real.
Then you're like, am I living? Do
Am I
I need
living
to
right?
love? Do I need to love something like that? No, these people are fucking crazy. That's how that thought process literally goes.
They were like, this is some devil shit. I'm leaving France.
But then on one hand, I'm kind of like, let me stick around and see what the fuck's gonna happen with this.
Yeah.
I'm very curious.
So, a historian who wrote A Time to Dance, A Time to Die. The extraordinary story of the dancing plague of 1518.
First off, that is our new book club read. We're all gonna get that. I bet it's $7 max on Amazon, and we will be like the first. I will look it up.
The hardback is $7.
The hardback.
Exactly.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like the paperback is free. Like it's at one of those.
But he said peeps were going through famines, so farmers had to kill off their stocks. Animals sell their shit and start begging in the streets. There was syphilis, smallpox, the English sweat going on.
Oh,
That's some crazy
that sounds
shit.
horrible. So like there was just like a big drop off in pregnancies because if you got syphilis and the English sweats, it ain't going down. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I cannot power through it.
Yeah, how much is it?
First off, there's 39 reviews.
Oh.
Holy fuck, why is
it's 160
Hold on,
books.
no, that's what they do, because it's like no one read it, so they've got to, because remember my mom thought she had sold all those books because her book was like $400 or $500. It was like, listen, I got a bunch of copies. I think I might list them then. I'm not paying that much for it. Never mind. Disregard. That's not. We're gonna find it free online on a PDF version.
Yeah. Also, of course, Christians.
Yeah.
The lovely Jesuses claimed that they provoked Saint Victus, who is a Sicilian martyr, who sends plagues of compulsive dancing when he's mad, I guess.
It's just all fist pumping. You get a fist pump like this, Joey. I'm saying Victus over here. Dance like this, Joey.
I can't.
So, it's either ritual shit, this rye bread, or,
Damn Sicilians.
The damn Sicilians.
The damn Sicilians came in with the house music.
Then we have the Irish Fright.
Ooh.
It's frightening.
Okay.
1688. The Glorious Revolution. During the Glorious Revolution. King James II, Catholic King of England, Ireland, and the Scots.
Well,
he got all three bitches.
I mean, but that's basically the size of Florida, so it's not that big of a deal. He was the governor of Florida.
Oh my God.
DeSantis or DeSanta?
It doesn't sound that great when you said
or Santa.
It seems like those are like three gigantic places, but no,
right.
Size of Florida.
Still, though.
Yeah, I mean, he ran
really
it.
Think
he
they're
ran
bigger
it.
Than Florida.
No, it's the size of Florida. The UK is the size. The UK is the size of Florida.
What he's in? Is he not Ireland? Did I make that up?
Yeah. Well, England, Ireland, and Scotland.
Okay, England is the size of Florida, maybe.
I mean, that's the good
bits.
Ireland
is not the size of Florida. That's a big ass country, dog.
Well, it's so Florida and Alabama.
Oh, even worse.
Right.
So, homeboy Catholic, of course, back then, they thought they had divine rights, and what he says go.
We do. What's next? I'm just playing.
Look here. So what he says goes, and this is during the time of the Protestants trying to rise
Protestant movement.
Yeah, so there's like this
Martin
religious
Luther
battle, of course.
Shiznai. Man, I don't know why I remember that, but
look at you.
Really? I know. I'm a little impressed. Okay, go ahead. Let's see if I remember more.
He's been ruling, trying to get decrees passed, and the parliaments are like, nah, bro, we ain't doing that. So they're just kind of crossing their fingers because he's 52, and they're like, he's gonna die soon.
Yeah,
he's been in this marriage for 11 years, has no son. He does have a daughter, Mary, who is married to a king, or well, no, he's not king yet, but William of Orange, who is
Protestant
and refreshing.
And so they're like, okay, she can get the throne and we'll be in Protestant rule again. But all of a sudden,
wait, I have to say this out loud.
What?
She said William of Orange. We need to go ahead and brand some old school like sodas that we can sell to medieval times.
Oh,
William with the oranges.
And also, I would like to issue an apology when I compared Ireland to the size of Alabama.
Thank you. It's way bigger.
Ireland is 27,000 square feet. 27,000 square miles, and Alabama is 52,000 square miles. So Ireland is so much smaller than Alabama.
This is the whole point that someone has to prove. Okay, we're gonna play this game. Okay.
So after 11 years, no son. All of a sudden, he has a son.
Where was he? Hiding him? I don't understand.
No, he was born, quote unquote.
Do we
but now I'm wondering,
that,
was it his son?
Also, sorry,
someone pitching it for him.
52 back then was decrepit AF. So this young thing who's married to this man is sleeping with essentially like an 80-plus-year-old man.
Right.
During that time. 52. Yeah.
Just everything smelling hot.
And
God. Saul's son boy, and then he also, after he disbands the parliaments of England and Scotland, tries to get 7 bishops jailed.
Damn.
What? Because they didn't
they didn't carry out his Catholic
tyrant
decrees, and they were acquitted. So that totally blew his like rule. They were like, "Yo,
I can't even name 7 bishops. Bishop T.G. Jakes, Bishop from X-Men,
Bishop T.G. Jakes,
Bishop from X-Men, Bishop Don Magic Wand."
I'm done.
Church, Tabernacle.
So
what happened
supposedly next? So his rule is just going down the toilet.
Yeah.
And there was word that there's some Irish soldiers ready to
I thought you almost said Irish car bombs. I was like, hell
yeah.
Or Irish breakfast shots.
Yes.
With the bacon. When they have bacon with it.
All right. So these soldiers were doing what?
They were ready to come fuck up.
Oh, they were about to lay
England
it down.
and Ireland.
They called Curtis.
They did.
They did call Curtis.
It's like, Curtis. Get in there, will you?
Curtis. So England and Scotland gets up in arms, literally. Like everybody is just like barricading. All the towns are going crazy. And so all of a sudden they hear the Irish soldiers are in a certain town, burning everything down, pillaging. Whoa. Fucking it up.
Now they're even more afraid, aren't they?
Yes.
They're sharpening their like
everything. All the woods.
All the sticks. No, sorry, Timmy, you no longer have a bed. We need to make a fucking spear.
We need to sharpen
everything.
Sharpen
all the nightstands and chest of drawers.
The chests.
Armoires.
Yep.
Ottomans.
So, as each little town hears of this Irish attack, when they're out patrolling or like they need to they're trying to like get supplies to the other town that's being fucked up. They're seeing the other towns aren't burning, so they're like, hey, we heard and we got a message that y'all were fucked up. What happened? And they were like, well, we heard y'all were fucked up. So everybody was getting these messages that Irish soldiers were burning other towns around. So it was just
it was a genius political move.
Yes, by the Orangists, as they're called. Delicious, to tear down King James so that William of Orange.
Oh, Billy Orange.
That might be the first social media campaign.
Yeah.
Maybe, smear campaign. Yeah. They're like, yeah, those Irish, man, they're going to come fuck you up. You better get ready. But
they're already fucking set up.
When William of Orange is king,
he's gonna
you won't have to worry about this.
I was going to say, ironically, no Irish are fucking shit up.
He's going to give them plenty of alcohol and potatoes and they're going to be fine.
Damn. But so James was exiled, and of course
ugly head.
The son is way too young. Like you can't even kind of put him on the throne. So Mary does become queen, and King William of Orange. William III.
Be on the lookout. Orange soda. King William of
King
Orange.
Williams.
Soda is coming to medieval times.
So now we have the Hammersmith Ghost.
Ooh.
1803.
It's hammer time.
It's hammer time.
Stop. Hammer time.
Oh, man.
No, you're going ice.
Yeah.
You're going vanilla ice.
You went
I did. That's why I said stop. Listen, it's my favorite song.
It is. You do like it?
Yeah.
I do.
So, ghost sightings started in November. Everybody, these women's... We're saying they saw someone cloaked in white. Sounds or like a white ghost. roaming, scaring. And then recently, tragically, they had someone commit suicide in the town, and they buried him in the cemetery. And those damn Catholics again.
What did they do this time?
Oh, you can't bury
you can't bury suicide victims.
You can't do it
on holy ground.
No, you gotta kick them out.
Because then, some crazy shit like this might happen.
Yeah, they're gonna come back. They're gonna be zombies and gonna bring Puerto Ricans. I just know they're gonna do it.
I think that Catholics reformed their stance on that because they started losing that piece, and now it's if you kill yourself, you go to purgatory and you got to be prayed out.
How much praying?
No one knows.
Who's calculating?
No one knows. So we just pray for the souls in purgatory.
Oh, I just imagine purgatory.
Seriously.
That's
like
just what
Cincinnati.
y'all do every time.
I mean, I do. I pray for the souls there. Wait, what do you imagine it's like?
Cincinnati.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
You just stuck. And you're just like, damn.
And they don't even have good conies or anything.
No. You just
Or Kogels.
They don't got the goggles,
Y'all, I'm serving them Kogels this weekend.
Oh, man. I can't wait.
I know.
To finally bite into a Kogel.
Listen, if you have disappointment, I need you to just stuff it. Because I'm going to use the simple fact that it is my birthday
you are
weekend
gonna
and I don't want the disappointment. You have to save it till afterwards.
No. You are going to know.
Went to purgatory, didn't have any goggles.
Sausage is sausage, man. I'll put it in my mouth.
That's what she said. You heard it here first.
So.
That's a good woman. This is a good woman. It's a solid woman there. Don't you dare laugh at a solid woman.
No, I'm not.
Anyways.
I'm just going to put it in her mouth.
It's a good. God bless you.
There wasn't a police force. Back to the story.
Okay.
There wasn't a police force. So, of course.
It was a neighborhood watch thing, wasn't
basically, an armed neighborhood watch.
Okay. So, basically, an HOA. That's literally an HOA in Georgia. We got Sandy Lamb who takes her gun with her everywhere and tells us that. So she's like, I was up here, and if I would have had my gun, but it was being serviced or some shit. Like, she's crazy. She's crazy as hell. She
ain't got a gun.
She sounds like my kind of woman.
Oh no, she does. She has like 4 guns. She carried. And one time she was out in the front yard.
Oh no,
this is a real fucking story. In her bikini. Okay. With her gun holster on.
Oh wow!
And she's a guy that, by the way, guys, she's like the leather lady, like an older woman in their like 60s who
they've sunned too much.
Magetta from what was it Magetta? Well, I can't think of her name. The old rubbery titties and Something About Mary. That's what Sandy Lamb looked like.
Oh, I was thinking Dragon Ball Z because you said Vegeta.
Oh, well, I don't remember her. Magda. It was Magda.
I was like,
she keeps that thing on her like Vegeta.
He does get pretty tan when he's Super Saiyan.
When he's Super Saiyan.
Okay,
that's what she calls her gun. She calls it Super Saiyan.
She's like, calm man.
This one is where I'm old and they're young and more people are gonna get that.
Oh,
okay. This is what she lets you know. She keeps that thing on her. If you,
she does though.
So if you
listen, I will literally. We can do a segment on here where we do reread Sandy's like Facebook.
I would love
it's
to.
Fucking amazing.
Come over here, you will get clapped messing with Sandy.
You will. She's nuts. I swear to God.
January 3rd.
All right.
So it's been 3 months.
Damn.
Since they saw a ghost.
Since these ghostesses have been scaring women and children.
Just
and
because of women and children.
They're scared the church.
Get your women in bed.
They always scare the children.
You didn't say nothing about them scaring no churn.
I think that's fine. Children need to be scared.
True.
Scare all
it's
the
what keeps
churn.
them safe. You got to scare some kids sometimes to keep them safe, man. I tell scary ass stories.
11 p.m. Thomas Millwood leaving the house of his parents and sister after a lovely visit. He is a bricklayer.
Ooh.
And back then, they wore all white everything.
That's right.
He had a crisp white shirt.
That was not crisp back then.
It had a
was
crisp
ever back then. Everything was a little bit of funk. It was a flappy, funky, dingy off-white.
I know bricklayer.
The perfect color of a ghost, maybe.
You're making good money as a bricklayer back then.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
You be laying
I just
them
feel
bricks.
like that could be euphemisms for something.
Yeah.
I lay them bricks, girl.
In all white.
I mean,
My name's Tony.
Let me see how you
I just visited a lovely visit with my family. I'm in all white.
Mass hysteria is all linked to perhaps hormones at this point. Like, I'm ready to commit mass hysteria. Tell me what we're doing.
Francis Smith, one of the neighborhood watch.
Yeah.
Armed up.
Francis.
Got his shotgun on him. Sees homeboy. Yeah. But he doesn't see him. He just sees the white.
He sees a ghost.
So he calls out, "Damn you.
And
Who
then he
are
just
you?
blasts, doesn't he?
And what are you? Damn you. I'll shoot you." And he does.
What?
I think he lied to the police. I think he said, "Holy," and he just shot. I don't think he called out at all. I think his little scared ass, Francis was like, scared as shit, and he just blasted full.
It's obvious my man was of Latin descent because he had on those white jeans. And homeboy just didn't want him in his neighborhood, so he blasted on him. He was like,
"My God,
it's those damn Puerto Ricans. I just know it. I'm going to shoot them. I'm going to tell them that it's a ghost."
This is in the 1800s.
Yeah.
I actually didn't put where this was, but I don't think.
If it's in the 1800s,
We're
was the Chicago accent like that?
Yeah, it was there.
In the 1800s?
I was there.
think so.
Oh, you had the accent there since, like 1550.
1550.
We came over with a bunch of red people over here.
Oh
Okay.
my God. All
All right. So,
I love this dude.
Francis, you do. I love that you love him.
He's so racist.
I do. He's so racist. It's awful.
It's so true, though.
Right.
So Francis, Franny, shot him on the left side of the jaw, and it hit his spinal cord.
Oh, he's dead for back then. Yeah.
So of course, he was tried for murder because he did kill somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
Justice for Javier.
But you know what? Here's what I want to know. Did Francis blame it on his wife
Thomas.
and she got in trouble later?
No.
Oh, okay.
Everybody knew because they were he shot, then came up, and he was literally just steps away from his mom and sister that he just saw. No, but I mean,
did he blame the reason he shot on his wife? Because
not on
she
his
told
wife.
me there were some ghosts out there, so I went out there and I saw one and I just blasted it. So it's her fault.
They were scared of the churn.
It's scared of the churns. So no, he didn't. Okay. So at the trial, the wife of Thomas, the bricklayer, said she told him that with this ghost scare, he should not wear his all white shit everywhere.
But it was so fresh, and the drip was so strong. He was like, "Fuck that shit! I gotta do it."
Because previously he was called out for possibly being the ghost by two women's and a man's in a carriage,
and he walked so smooth, like he's floating.
He told his wife that. This is the best part about it. He told his wife, the dude said, "There goes the ghost." And he replied, Thomas said, "I am no more a ghost than you are." And proceeded to ask him if he wanted a punch to the head.
No, so he's an aggressive ghost at that. So yeah, another fuck you ghost, blast.
But I love that he asked. He was like, "Do you want a punch to the head or what? I'm gonna fuck you up for saying that shit."
Because ghosts can't touch things too. There's a way to prove it.
He's like, "Oh yeah, pop it. I know ghosts. I know ghosts."
Stop. It's not.
I ain't no man. I ain't no ghost. Papa, no.
You're ridiculous.
My name is Thomas.
Oh, I'm done.
These are Levi's. These are Jordache. No good. No ghosts.
If you said they were damn I'm done. The white
you know they were Jordache, so
I
crispy. How are they so crispy?
They are.
Because they're Jordache, man.
They found them. They kept them preserved. They were hermetically sealed for 35 years.
This shit comes out of one of those.
Yeah.
Are those no Jordan?
It's like a little crisp air, just
freezer.
At
the trial, Thomas's sister stated that Francis Smith did call out, but he fired automatically after that. So it wasn't like a pause, like, who are you?
Hey, you ghost.
Yeah.
Look, you ghost. And then he blasted. Like, yeah, that was the call out.
It was like, he's like, yeah, that's a ghost. So there was no, like, him trying to actually see if it was a ghost or not.
Did Francis and Mary his wife? Because maybe it was premeditated.
Oh,
just
or
saying.
I think Thomas was sticking it to Mary.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And her husband was like, rack that motherfucker on her.
So the chief judge, Lord Chief Barron, stated Smith was not acting in self-defense or shot Thomas by accident, because Thomas didn't charge at him.
No.
And it wasn't an accident because he had the intent. He was going out there walking the streets with the intent of killing a ghost, quote unquote, whether it be an actual ghost or an actual person. Yeah.
He just wanted to be Billy Badass because he's probably like skinny as shit.
What if the ghost was going home?
Just ain't shit up in the town, and he's like, I'm gonna shoot that ghost, and
I'm gonna shoot the ghost. You know, get him out of our town.
Scaring people is not a crime. Like, you wouldn't be sent to jail for this.
To tell you that, not yet. Scaring people isn't a crime yet. You never know what the hell these assholes are gonna take away or come up with next. But if so, like, we would just, like, that's awful. You just took all the fucking fun out of life, fucking fun suckers. Like, that's terrible. Scaring people is amazing.
Yes. So the jury deliberated and came back with the charge of manslaughter.
Word.
And the judge was like, nah, bruh. The trial is he is guilty or not.
Yeah,
there is no in between. Yeah, he was like, no. So the jury had to go back, and they found him guilty, of course. Yeah. So, but he appealed to the king, because that was still a thing back then.
Right.
And his sentence, the sentence back then, if you were found guilty, was death, of course, by hanging and dissection. So they would hang you.
Oh, and then
they're cutting your body up.
Just in case the hanging didn't do it.
Wow, that's fucked up.
So that was commuted to a year hard labor.
All right.
You know. But yeah, that changed a lot of laws in the UK also, because it's like a lot of the quote unquote stand your ground type things or self-defense, because I mean, there was no self-defense in that way. Like, he was going out with the intent.
And then not even like 100 years later or so, didn't the UK just ban guns for anyone who's not police related? Like, they don't have.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, I think you can. It's like assault rifles, but like
you can have like a hunting rifle.
Yeah, hunting like and a hand, but the process is a lot more stringent.
And ironically, they have less gun like casualties. Fucking figure that.
I bet they would have even less if they had more guns, though.
Oh my God.
If everybody carried a gun?
Whoa.
Like, if everybody carried a gun, they would have no gun.
Because that's how the teachers, their teachers should carry guns.
Their teachers carry those things on them.
I mean, right? So stupid.
So the biggest kicker is John Graham, a shoemaker, came out later.
Wow. That was not planned, just so everyone knows.
Oh, wow.
A shoemaker comes out and said he actually did pretend one time to be a ghost to scare his apprentice.
He played the biggest prank on the whole town?
Yeah, kind of.
Now his profession is a ghost.
Like, he played it on his apprentice, because his apprentice was telling his children ghost stories. So maybe someone saw him do that prank.
See, that's what happens.
And it turned into a whole like
neighborhood watch. Just goes wrong every time for the most part.
Yeah, you shouldn't be armed. Like, what the fuck? You're not police. Like,
exactly. Have a conversation, bro.
Yeah. So now we're gonna talk about the miracle of the sun.
Is that what Reverend Sun Myung Moon from South Korea? His cult?
I've never
heard of this one.
You never heard of Sun Myung Moon?
No, I've heard of that. I've never heard of the miracle of the sun.
It's not that cult.
Oh, okay.
But October 13th, 1917, Portugal.
Portugal.
So, a year before, 3 Catholic babies. They're not babies, they're children.
The turns.
They're babies. So they saw an angel.
Ooh.
An angel appeared to them. And then months later, Mary herself appeared to them and told them a prophecy that on this day, October 13th, 1917, she gonna pull up. She gonna show some shit.
Yeah.
She's gonna do some miracle shit.
Right.
Make people claro.
I'm very glad
that Jesus be real.
Now, like, it seems like Mary only started doing miracles like after, like she died. Like it wasn't like.
Are you saying
it wasn't on her to do
9 months of where she got miraculously pregnant wasn't a miracle then?
But she didn't do it. She didn't want that.
Well, no, she didn't. But she still carried it. Like,
but that was like an after
time
effect.
She found out too. She was a couple months along, and it was like, "Yo, bro, what the hell? Like, how bad was like the drugs back then?"
Can you catch God's superpowers? It's like because her baby had God's superpowers, and then like she gave birth to it. Yeah, she's got a little bit of it, and she's like, "Oh, water in the wine." She's turning like.
Ooh, what if she did that like on the hush hush though?
Oh, like Jesus like, was trying to do it. She's like, "Oh, baby."
Bloop.
Keep trying.
I keep trying, baby.
Keep trying. We'll tell everybody you did it.
You did it. You did it.
Who's Jesus? Who's Jesus? You Jesus.
I was so done. Because
that is like he performed that miracle, and then it was like years.
It was gaps
before he did another one. Right. So maybe. Conspiracy right there. Anyways, the babies. So, let's see. Oh, and this is around the time of World War I. So, she said she would come back, show some miracle shit, end the war. Bam. Damn. In your face. 3 little kids. So they go around telling this. A lot of people were skeptical. A lot of people really believed this shit and made like pilgrimages and saw these little babies, heard what they had to say and shit. Is that what that is?
I think so. When people are so desperate, they'll do anything for hope.
So on this day, October 13th, there's conflicting numbers. So newspaper said 30 to 40,000 and a lawyer said 100,000. So
okay, we're gonna go with the newspaper because either way that's still a shit ton of people.
Like an ass of people came to the area. Happened? So it just rained. It was raining. Then the clouds opened up.
Wait, I think I saw this reenacted on Unsolved Mysteries once. This was cool. Okay, tell me what happens next.
And the sun came out, quote unquote, but it looked duller. Like it wasn't the bright, sparkly sun, especially after it just rained. So, and it looked like as if it was spinning. It was a spinning
this sounds
disc.
familiar.
It sounds familiar. So all of a sudden it started casting colorful lights everywhere.
Yes, I did see this on an Unsolved Mysteries, which was crazy as shit because it was done in like the 80s and that shit was
I gotta
insane.
watch that
yes,
one,
you
then.
do. Okay.
So it was just raining. Sun comes out.
Blasted
dazzling
laser lights. Laser lights. Okay, what is this?
And people said their clothes became dry all of a sudden.
You turned on the big furnace on them, yeah.
The ground became dry, which was like sopping wet. Sapping.
Sloppy.
Some people said they saw the sun come close to the earth, come close at them.
And then like bounce
and
back
zigzag.
out. Yep.
Zoop, 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 and then came back to the spot.
I'm telling you, this
it was just there.
Unsolved Mysteries episode is wild as shit because they reenacted this.
Many people thought they saw the sun do a zigzag.
But they were only high.
Some people did not see this sun dance.
They were still not believers.
Some people said they only saw these radiant colors coming.
Well, explain
from the
that,
sun.
Karen.
And some people said they didn't see shit.
No.
Well, what the fuck? Did you have your eyes open? You are not the chosen.
They are not the chosen. So, did it happen? Did it not? Oh, it's still out there. Still out there for debate. Some people believe wholeheartedly. Some people said they didn't see shit.
I mean, the power of suggestion and concentrated people all concentrating on one thing. I think that can do something.
Yeah. Some hallucination type thingies.
And they
we
all
only
wanted to
use
see
a
it.
portion of our brains. Who the hell knows what happened?
Hey, maybe it was open.
Maybe that's the key to unlocking the rest of our brains. Like
You stare at the sun.
Staring at the sun. Laser light shows, sun zooming, and then boom, now you can use the rest of your brain.
That quote that we only use 10% of our brains is a misquote. It's we use all of our brains. Right. We do. We all the quote was
some people might use all of their brains. The majority of people do not use all of their brains.
The quote was we only know about 10% of the human brain.
So then we know. So we're only using 10% of what we know. Then
no, it's we use all of it all the time, but we don't know that much about the human brain.
Right.
We still don't know how or why anesthesia works.
Yeah.
No one knows for sure why it works.
Wait a second.
We don't. No one knows.
Is that why people are so scared?
Yeah, and then it's not an exact science.
No.
That's why
that's
why people can die.
Times.
That's why people can die because you get too much, and then some people wake up because you don't get enough.
We don't know exactly why it works.
That was weird. And then I remember being knocked back out.
Oh yeah, they'll knock you back. Yeah, they'll be like, bitch.
And then they were like, and that was the last thing I remember. And I was like, wow, that was weird as shit. All right.
So a lot of the brain is not known yet.
Dreams and
okay, what else happened?
And our eyeballs are part of our brain. They're not attached to our brain. Our eyeballs are the only part of our brain that's exposed to sunlight. This is our brain, and so things that happen with our brain, that's just wild stuff that can happen. In your pineal gland, a lot of the same things that make up your eye are in your pineal gland. That's why it's called the third eye, and it's buried deep inside where you can't see anything, but it sees things.
You're blowing Rachel's mind.
Right? The brain is crazy.
I can't right now.
We know nothing about our own brain.
Okay, I'm cool.
So, mid-40s, the mad gasser of Mattoon comes up.
No. I swear to God, if people are ripping ass in the street, not
that kind.
Okay.
Not that kind of gas.
Ate tons of beans.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like a fartathon.
And some beer.
In a 2-week span, there was gas attacks in this little town.
Who didn't win the mayor race? These are easy to solve.
So, there were sightings of a suspicious person.
The former guy who ran didn't win. I just saw that.
Supposedly, it's a tall, thin man.
Oh my God.
Dressed in dark attire.
Oh my God.
With a tight-fitting cap.
What? Just like the mayor.
Just tight-fitting, which I don't understand what that
dad
means.
cap?
I don't know. It just says, it kept
a
saying
Scully.
tight-fitting, and I was like, I don't know what this means.
He had on a do-rag? It was like a stocking
Bit better, I hope so.
Just looking up some waves and gas attacking.
And he was seen carrying a flint gun, which is used to spray pesticides.
Or dirty water, because it's flint.
Okay, so yeah, this is not good.
Not that it came from
this
flint.
mass hysteria?
So, well, let me tell you
What
some of the
happened?
reports.
Okay,
in this
tell
2-week span.
2 weeks. A fortnight.
Yes, a fortnight. August 31st, the first day, a man woke up to a strange odor, calls out to his wife.
Bitch, is that you?
Well, he wakes up because he smells this shit. Well, he smells an odor. He's feeling very weak. He all of a sudden can't move.
Oh man, he's
feeling
paralyzed?
nauseous. He starts vomiting. Wakes up his wife. His wife goes to call somebody, finds out she can't move either.
Oh, damn.
They are paralyzed from the legs down.
Okay,
from the waist down.
Revenge.
This is
all this is. It's
revenge.
Revenge is mass hysteria. I'm adding this to my repertoire.
The next day, September 1st, 11 p.m.
Someone else is paralyzed.
Yeah. A woman smells something sweet, but she thought it was just the flowers because she had
I'm sorry.
Because she had the window open. She
and
thought
those
it was
cakes
just the
were
flowers.
bacon.
So dumb.
So she doesn't think anything about it, but then the odor gets
into
stronger.
Her mouth.
Why'd you say it like?
Because I feel like you can smell odor better when it hits your mouth.
I guess, yeah. I mean, anyways,
No one else smells with their mouth open. Okay. No, people smell with their nose.
Was that Chanel? Yeah, that's Chanel.
I can taste it. Oh my god! All right, bring us back in.
So she lost feeling in her legs. Began calling to her sister. That was like
Gladys.
In the house.
Gladys, I can't feel my legs.
Her sister runs over. She's
so
like,
she didn't lose feeling in her legs.
No, but she did smell the weird odor. So cops come. They find nothing. No evidence was left.
Can bitch walk yet?
She's having the like the vomiting, the burning of the mouth and throat, like the husband
she got blasted
did.
In the face with something.
Yeah.
Wait, what if it's not this guy who's doing it? What if it's like, remember on Ghostbusters, like when, like there was this ghost who would like basically
like
fart or
spray,
slime?
yeah,
like,
Slimer.
What? Yeah. I forgot his name.
It was Slimer coming slamming on her cakes. Got her all paralyzed.
God.
Got her weak in the knees.
Anyways, her husband's a taxi driver. He comes home around 12:30. Sees somebody at the crouching around one of the windows.
Yeah. Always looking for open windows. He's a paralyzer predator. The paralyzer.
Well, he's called the Mad Gasser in this one.
But someone like creativity.
So he tries to chase this dude down. Homeboy gets away.
Gets paralyzed.
That would be hilarious.
I mean,
so the dude gets away. Cops can't find him again. Blah blah blah. September 5th, a couple returns home. The story is a little what the fuck, but okay. So couple comes home. They see a rag on the porch, a white cloth.
Okay, somebody dropped their no, I'm not feeling this already.
So
I'm sending Nate in to check that shit out.
Goes over, picks it up and sniffs it. Who the fuck does that?
More fucking people
why
than
are you just sniffing random handkerchiefs?
A freak.
Who does that?
I'm not really
My
sure.
first thought is not to smell it.
And so then my first thought is to kick it, pick it up with the end of a broom handle.
And be fuck off.
She thought they were panty draws.
What would she do?
Baby,
Because
somebody else's.
She's a freak.
So she starts coughing violently.
Oh
she
man, they must have been bad.
She feels an electric shock, quote unquote. Her face starts swelling, nausea, vomiting, burning of the eyes, mouth, throat. Well, she shouldn't have fucking sniffed a weird cloth.
Yeah.
Leg paralysis.
Oh,
so bitch just fell out.
She fell out.
She looking like the Nutty Professor.
Yeah, it's just. They did find footprints under the windows. So somebody was scoping it out. Some people thought the rag was left there because their dog would usually sleep in that spot on the porch.
Oh.
So maybe that he was going to target that house, but I guess he didn't think they would come and pick up and sniff a fucking random handkerchief.
He didn't know a freak lived there.
No, he did not do his due diligence.
So because of all this, the FBI gets involved because they're like, yeah, what's all this?
What's all this
gas stuff? It was like
we
warfare. So then they do start going around the neighborhoods and finding other footprints under windows.
And find some of the same stories, right?
Yeah, and some of the screens were even cut. So he was like, I'm not even going to wait for you to open this shit. I'm just going to go ahead and cut some shit. So, of course, a bunch of false calls start happening, though, like false accounts. They're not really finding anything. Yeah. So the cops, the attacks, quote unquote, got fewer and far in between. So the cops kind of put the priority down on this mad gasser.
Right.
And then after that, the attacks kind of just went away, basically. Like, once it wasn't a priority.
I wonder if Paul sold his home when he was mad gassing other people after that. Maybe he was mad gassing the neighbors who were impeding his home sale.
Maybe.
Just saying.
So everybody was scared of their own shadow, of course. So and like any weird smell, they'd call the cops. So the cops were like, yo, fuck this noise.
I'm sorry, white people still today?
Exactly.
Is mass hysteria still happening right now?
Oh, most definitely.
Oh, okay. Clearly.
So they believed, after all this, you got to come up with some reason. So they believed that all these symptoms were definitely all symptoms of mass hysteria alone. Because the symptoms of nausea, vomiting, shortness of breath, spasms, convulsions, seizures, all this stuff. So once one person heard the news of like an odor and things like that, and then everybody's like scared of everything. And so then they believe that they're getting attacked.
Yes. So then it just spreads. Sort of like QAnon. And like what happened during like January 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I would classify that as mass hysteria.
It could be.
I mean, based just off on the definition.
But the chief police also said it was probably chemicals from all the plants next door. And of course, the biggest company, Atlas Imperial, was like, yo, bitch, no, it wasn't us. Okay, our chemicals are safe.
Oh, quote, well, they're going to say that, but this was what, 50s? 60s?
Yeah, the 40s.
Yeah, like, no, they weren't. You lie. Like, probably, there is a portion of that.
They had a chemical in one of their plants, tetrachloride, which can cause weakness, nausea, vomiting, and, like, paralysis, like temporary paralysis. So they did have that in their plants, but they were like, no, it's not us.
Temporary paralysis is a fucked up thing.
Yeah,
that's
right.
what happens. Like when you get a epidural, that's basically what happens. And that it feels weird as hell. Like they're like, move your leg, and I'm like,
how?
I'm like trying, but my brain and leg aren't working.
Will your leg to
like
move.
Pretty much. I mean, and that's what you end up doing. Like I remember being in that moment, and they're like, can you move your leg? And I was like, I looked at it, I stared at it real hard, like I did like a squint. I was like, move leg, and my brain, this leg did not go anywhere. Someone had to lift that bitch. Like,
damn.
But Joe ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
Oh shit. The twist, you actually don't have legs.
You ain't got no legs. Oh man, I have to watch it.
So either that, it was the chemicals from the plants,
or
it was a real person doing it, and they just like went outie when the FBI came. They were like, "Yo, that's too big."
Yeah, no,
I'm not going to like federal.
That sounds like someone like me who like pranked someone. That's not a great, nice prank, but like the minute it got serious, I'd be like, "Yo,
I'm out.
My shit, I'm done. I got my household. I gotta leave." Bye.
Then aliens. All
right, I'm not leaning.
They were actually getting abducted.
I'm not leaning towards that.
That's why they're paralyzed.
The footprints lean more towards like a Jared or some shit.
A damn Jared, always a creeper.
Yep.
With his waves.
Somebody's sandwich.
All right. This is the airwave mass hysteria, the sea monster attack. May 29th, 1947. The Armed Forces Radio in Tokyo.
But did we go back in time?
No, we were in 1940. We're going forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I try to make it chronological. WVTR interrupted a regular broadcast with news of a 20-foot sea monster coming inland towards downtown.
Okay. I'm waiting.
There was a whole hour of updates that were coming through as a dragon, quote unquote, caused havoc. This is 47. Well, I guess they kind of would have had something. But anyways, towards downtown. This is the radio, okay? Like, nobody's watching.
All right. Everyone is scared, though. We're all panicking. It's like when there's a tsunami and
there
stuff.
were updates on military efforts saying that bullets didn't penetrate it, but rockets and other shit was working.
This is doing the most. Like, they really are getting people afraid here.
They advise listeners to stay indoors and keep all lines clear.
What bank heist happened?
What?
At the same time. This is like a bank heist or some shit.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they're stealing something.
They updated the listeners on rescue and escapes. There were gunfire, screams.
Yeah, this is a whole
It was like a whole thing. So finally, the dragon reached downtown. And the main dude that's on there says, I'm going to get a little closer. The monster stopped, turned, and congratulated the Armed Forces radio station for 5 years. Ooh. So it was like a big ass hoax.
I told you, it was like the Army trying to play a damn joke.
But
it didn't go over well, did it? What happened next?
It did not, because everywhere was flooded, like with phone calls from people that were just like, what is happening? The armed forces were put on alert. The Japanese police was put on alert because nobody from the radio station told anybody. Because they said it would ruin the fun. The surprise.
Facts. I would probably have to agree with that.
A British officer called in and was saying his men were demanding rifles and rockets to fight the
monster
dragon thingy.
Godzilla.
Well, this was before Godzilla, so maybe. But it mainly just affected the armed forces and their families. Like the Japanese people that could speak English didn't really.
Right.
They were like, meh. But all the white people over there were like, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So the people involved with the broadcasting were, of course, put on leave pending the investigation. Dummies. And most of the men were just sent to Korea as punishment.
Yeah.
They went the Catholic move. They were like, we'll just move you over here.
Yep.
And you'll be okay. Nobody knows you here.
Yep.
So then we have the Hollandwell incident, July 1980. Hollandwell.
Wait a minute. Where does this end? Like, are we going to like 2020s?
2019. I skip around. Are you guys? Is it too much? Is it too long?
This might be a two-parter.
This is probably going to be a two-parter. Are we going through like all?
How long was it?
This is like we're like an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Fine then. We can just stop it.
It's like, where's
like,
this
if you guys just don't want to record the rest of the shit, like, fuck it. I think it my God.
Need to be a two-parter,
are you trying to?
I'm trying to get through it. You guys keep interrupting. I'm trying my best.
It's good. That's what I'm saying.
I'm over it. I'm done with it.
Are you trying to induce mass hysteria?
I'm trying to go through it. There's a lot of them.
But that's why there's that comment on it. I do believe it could be a really great two-part. No!
It's over.
Fuck it. I'll read the rest of the notes then.
No, this is it. We're done with them.
Read the last 8.
No. I'm over it.
We're only going to do 8 more.
I don't have that many. I'm trying to get through them. Right. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm over it.
No, I was enjoying this.
We could two-part it.
Okay, we can two-part it though. You're not done with it forever.
No.
Tuesday, 1973. Then we're going to do Wednesday, 1973.
Well, then cut some of it out.
No, I feel like the world needs to hear part of this. So
we
can
just scrap the whole fucking video. I don't care.
Are we going to go to like yesterday?
No.
We're going to go up to yesterday.
I really have enjoyed mass hysteria. I want to do a 2-part. I mean that though. Like, these are things I've never heard of, with the exception of the.
I mean, gosh, Theon. I'm sorry I'm boring you.
It's not boring. It's just a lot of it. There's just a lot of it. That's all.
We will never have another theory. This might be the last theory Tuesday.
I'm trying to get
Theon
through them.
his mouth.
Well, I'm sorry. This was a long-ass fucking episode.
It really
My
was.
fucking bad. Maybe there will be a part 2. Maybe there won't. I'm sorry it was so fucking long. There's a lot of mass hysteria that has happened in this world.
You know what would be amazing? If people would follow us and have mass hysteria following us. And,
I will not do a part 2 unless there's mass hysteria.
Okay, yeah. So please follow us.
So
No,
like
not that
us
many people listen.
with ENR. Well,
tune in next time for
A long-ass episode. God.
The Godfather
My
Part
bad.
2. Lord of the Rings. Return to the Hysteria.
Oh my God. Follow us at with
_ENR.
Thank you, because I forgot that there was an underscore on all the platforms. Man, just do it. Because we need a second episode. Like, I don't think you guys understand the severity, but we're gonna let Esther.
God, my
murder us
bad. It
now.
was so long, you guys. Holy shit!
Tune in for the extended version.
It's not that long. Like half of that hour is us talking about dumb
It's
shit.
not even half an hour. No, it's not half of the hour.
Anyway,
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get
see
through
you next
them.
week. Bye.
Bye.